This is going to be controversial, but Mercedes Mone is probably the greatest women's wrestler of all time. And I don't say this lightly. Her track record and list of achievements, even to this day, are something that is absolutely mythical. Mercedes currently holds 8 championship belts across multiple different promotions, from AEW to RevPro to CMLL, EWA, and even promotions in Poland. She is truly leading a global women's revolution, a promise she made back in February of 2024 when she originally debuted in AEW. She stated that she was in the company not just to help promote women's wrestling in North America, not just to help promote women's wrestling in AEW, but also shine a light on the talent across the globe. And that is what she has done. She has given a platform to several up-and-coming international stars by just being in the ring with her. And people will scoff at that and say that it doesn't matter because for whatever reason they don't watch. But at the end of the day, when you are a star and an historic figure to the degree that Mone is, it is important to use your platform to bolster the next generation of pro wrestling, because that is what keeps this industry alive. That is what keeps this lifeblood going. It is not simply by going out there and putting the shine on yourself, but it's putting the shine on others. And despite the criticism of her holding these belts being a smoking gun as far as the Mercedes Hogan trope, which, by the way, if you're saying that, you're kind of a loser in my view. But regardless, people want to say that she's got creative control, something that Tony Khan and herself have vehemently denied in the past. But people need to realize it's more than her just holding these belts. It is a symbol of what this means. Because not only did Mercedes have to beat other people and put shine on them and have competitive matches, which she has done throughout her run in the past 2 years, but at a certain point, she will lose those belts. And she will lose them to other up-and-coming stars. She will lose them, and when she does, people are going to be talking about who Mercedes was beaten by. That is the point of all of this. This is supposed to be a business that you give to, and it gives back. That is how all of this works. And for Mercedes, she is following through on that promise and also adding to an already bolstered legacy. You look at what Mercedes, formerly known as Sasha Banks, did in the first decade of her career. It is something that not many people in this entire industry can say that they have done. She helped start a women's revolution in WWE, holding the WWE Women's World Championship 6 times, and also hosting up the NXT Women's Championship 1 time, and arguably had WWE's best match of the past decade, herself and Bayley at TakeOver Brooklyn 2015, a match that is still talked about, a match that is still highly regarded, and a match that completely changed the way that people view women's wrestling, particularly in WWE. Prior to that 2015 match, yes, we all knew that women's wrestling was on the rise. You had the likes of AJ Lee, you had the likes of Paige, you had the likes of Beth Phoenix leading the charge and slowly but surely getting it up to a level that was seen by the larger and broader swath of WWE fans as more serious than it was even 10 years before that. But when Mercedes, Bayley, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair arrived on the scene, it went up a whole nother gear. Those 4 women are called the 4 horsewomen of WWE, the 4 horsewomen of pro wrestling for a reason. It is because when they stepped up, the game changed completely. And now it has gotten to a point where you would be hard-pressed to find people who wouldn't agree with the idea that WWE's women's division is carrying the company, and it's not even close. You look at the stars like Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and so on. They are dominating that company, and it is in large part due to the work of people like Mercedes. And when you take into account that everywhere Mercedes has gone, regardless of the company, she has helped make new stars. Someone in WWE who's doing very well, like Stephanie Vaquer, who was hired by WWE based off a match she had with, guess who? Mercedes Mone. My point of all of this is not to say that Mercedes is the single game changer that led to everything that we have seen in women's wrestling, being as red hot as it is, being as over as it is, and being as awesome as it is. My point is to say that I think if you look at the full body of work, from her impact to her in-ring work, which is undeniable, to even her ability to go out there and make new stars, Mercedes Mone is probably the greatest women's wrestler ever. And the insane thing is that Mercedes is not even close to being done. She signed a multi-year contract with AEW just last year. She is 33 years old, is not slowing down, and probably just getting better and better by the day. And right now, she has a chance to do something epic and help grow AEW's women's division even more. She has had bouts with the likes of Toni Storm, who actually handed Mercedes her first loss back at AEW All In this year. But you also have other stars waiting in the wings. Stars like Willow Nightingale, stars like Chris Statlander, stars like Julia Hart, stars like Tekla, stars like Queen Amadada, stars like Megan Bayne. There is an entire roster of wrestlers that Mercedes can have insane matches with, but also help grow. And that is the point of all of this. If you want to put Mercedes Mone and her impact into one word, it is growth. She has helped not only grow herself as a talent over the past 10 years, but she has helped grow the entire industry. She has helped grow the entire brand of women's wrestling. She has helped women's wrestling not just be a different genre of pro wrestling. It has been integrated because of the work that she has done. And there will be detractors. There will be people who say that she's not as good as I'm making it out to be. And people are certainly entitled to their opinion. But if you don't watch, and if you haven't seen her entire career, and you're not just forming an opinion based off of something you heard online, I think you'd be hard-pressed to disagree with me. But hey, I guess we'll see.